Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, saints and ain'ts, participators, agitators, congratulators, and of course, the wonderful haters. Welcome to another episode of The Bigger Picture within the throne room. Today, we are most blessed and very humbled by the presence of the gentleman that sits to my left, even though he is 100% on the right all the time. He is the author of this wonderful novel here. If you don't have it, please go get it. You know you got Prime. It is My Worlds of Bodyguard and Hip Hop Stars. He has serviced his community as not only a servant, a public servant, helping transition men and women back into the community after being justice impacted, but he has also counseled many of our at-risk youth to understand and embrace the greater parts of their life and not allow their present conditions to change them. He has impacted and touched the lives of so many. It's not just about Bad Boy. It's so much more than that. He is our brother. He is like no other, Mr. Gene Deal. Welcome, sir.
Definitely welcome. That introduction was so elegant. I've never had anybody ever introduce me in that fashion. I duly and truly want to appreciate you and tell you I appreciate that introduction, and that's so heartfelt.
It's all true.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's all true.
We honor you here.
Thank you.
You have impacted so many lives. You know, you and I were just talking. One of the communities you serve was a community I was raised in. It's now known as LV, aka Boston Tremont, known back then as Lambert Houses.
Ooh.
A community like many communities at that time, you know, plagued with a lot of drug activity, a lot of pharmaceutical professionals, you know, and those suffering from addiction, and the hardworking people that had to navigate through those trenches, you know, every day to get to and from work. So for that, I appreciate your service, because when you were there, I was just one of them wild teenagers with the big earrings that you probably saw running by. A couple of my cousins was probably the guys that you was like, hey, we got to put some boundaries in place. And I think that your service to the community and the people oftentimes gets overlooked because there's not too many of us serving anymore.
Yes.
And just serving, not for notoriety, not for likes, but because our people are a reflection of us.
Right.
And if we
Correct.
don't take care of each other, who is going to take care of us?
Yes.
So I wanted to celebrate you for that.
I appreciate that. I truly do.
Absolutely. Tell me, what led you to service in the public? Because you're a college graduate. There's
Correct.
no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You had a stellar athletic background in college. What transitioned you into law enforcement or working with the justice impacted population?
Well, I was injured. I was supposed to go overseas. This New Yorker, he played basketball at Niagara University. His name was Jackie Knowles. And I used to play ball up at 181st Street and Webster Avenue. It was Webster PAL. And they used to have midnight basketball. A lot of people don't know this. All the pro athletes, the guys, Chris, what's his name? He was like 6'10", 6'11". Chris played at North Carolina State. I forgot his name, but the Third Kills, the guys from Mount Vernon, they was two brothers. They played in the NBA. All these guys used to go up to that center and play at night. It was a lot of pros and everything like that. So when I came to New York, I had to meet I met Jackie Knowles. I was coming up here because he was supposed to get me over in Germany. Tore my meniscus up. The doctor said, back then, you talking about 86. It was not like the technology is not like it is today. So he told if I continue to play basketball, I won't be able to walk when I get 50. Right? I was dating a girl, found out she was cheating on me back at school. You know what I'm saying? She back at
Uncommon.
school. You know what I'm saying? So I found out she was cheating on me. Didn't want to go back to St. Louis because I'm originally from St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into working at St. John's Cathedral with the group home kids. You know what I'm saying? So then a couple of my friends, my fraternity brothers, was working with BCW and corrections and stuff like that.
It was BCW back then
Back then it
before
was
it became
BCW.
ACS.
Yes. So they were working with them. So they, Eugene, come on over, brother. This, you know, they pay you this, that, and the third. You be out in the field, you do your visits, you go home and all like that. It was an easy job, you know what I'm saying? So one day, I was working the sex abuse unit, and we had those. I had this particular case where we had to go out, and the people don't know this about the people who work in BCW and things like that. I had to go out and you actually have to see where the victim has been victimized.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this guy up in there with the mother, and the doctor came back and said the little girl they did a culture. She had chlamydia. She was about 2-3 years, 4 years or something like that. And then we were up in the hospital, and it's kind of disturbing, but the dude had said something like, we asked him, did he do it? He said, so what if I did? What you gonna do like that? And when he said, what you so do, I had grabbed him so quick, I didn't know what I did. And
Just out of reflex.
Just out of reflex. Grabbed him by the throat, because I had just had a baby myself, a daughter myself. You know, so I'm just, so I grabbed him up and stuff like that. So then they told me they was gonna give me an opportunity after I did that, because in that type of unit, you gotta have a stomach for that. You know, I was in the investigative unit, but I wasn't in the sex abuse unit. I wasn't trained to have that, you know, that restraint. So it was a big scene in the hospital and everything like that, because at that time I'm young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you see me when I was at Library House, I could chase those guys down.
Through the maze. Because Lambert is a maze.
Man. So you gotta know what doors to go through, how to get down and stuff. And they go in one building, you come out the other building. Then you go to the top, you run across the roof.
That's right. That's right.
So then, but back then, you know, I'm in shape, you know, I'm at my best, I'm fitted. I was like, yo, I grabbed this dude, man, and then they told me, they gave me opportunity to resign. So I resigned, and I talked to a couple of my fraternity brothers, the other people, they wanted me to come to corrections, but the other guy said, yo, go to parole, you got your degree. You understand? Parole at the time, and still is, it was the highest paying law enforcement job at start.
Right, not with the overtime, just your base was higher.
Your base in 90, 80, I went there in 91. The base was $57,000.
That was fantastic.
You know what I'm
especially
saying?
then.
Back then. That was the base.
Yes.
That was amazing.
NYPD was starting people off at 23.
They sure were.
Correction was starting people out at 25.
Yeah.
But they was getting a lot of overtime, but I was getting that without even having overtime. You know what I'm saying? Starting at 57. And then you get hazardous duty, what you call pay. But to answer your question is that dealing with the youth at St. John's Cathedral, and then I worked at, my first job was at Brandeis High School. You know, shout out to Artie Green. Artie Green is a big producer. He produced a lot of stuff for Ja Rule and everything like that. He was one of my kids.
Wow, look how things come full circle.
Yeah, and right now today we still have a relationship. He thanked me, you know, because I used to talk to him back then, but he's a big time producer now. I was just working with kids and stuff like that. Then I got an opportunity to work in the correctional facilities for the Division of Parole at Edgecombe Correctional Facility.
Okay.
So and they always gave me the younger population.
Because you had a knack for it.
Right. And so then I learned the streets of New York, because at that time I had been in contact, and I was working at the St. John's Cathedral with a guy named D. Ferg. That's
ASAP's
Ferg.
dad.
Yeah, ASAP Ferg's father. And we started a clique called The Same Gang.
Of course.
You understand? So, you know, I started learning the streets of New York, started learning the behavior and stuff like that, you know, of guys. And became pretty good at, finding young guys jobs and dealing with them because I was a wayward child. You understand what I'm saying? Met my mother when I was 12, met my father when I was 15. At the age of 14, 13, 14, I was in the juvenile center at Clayton, Missouri. I was in there for something I didn't do.
What was that experience like?
I would say it was devastating being locked up in a room and only given like 8 hours to come out to go to school and things like that. And I understood some of those guys who went to jail and what they did, all you got was a crust of bread and a corner to sleep in. I went through that when I was young also. So it gave me the opportunity to say that if these kids have never talked to somebody who's been through what they've been through and made it by going to college, I went to college, I graduated, I did everything you're supposed to do, but I wouldn't say I was the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I had the ability to learn and to memorize everything I needed to know. So it gave me the opportunity to deal with kids that went through the correctional facility and wanted to come out and do something different. And I showed them and put them in the pathway in order to do those things.
You actually demonstrated for them in real time, HD as they say now, that it was achievable. A lot of the youth, because I worked with a lot of at-risk youth with the Baby Snatchers, ACS. I served 27 years. That's,
Oh my!
everybody knows.
That's
I
not.
have to be honest because, as you know, BCW, ACS, it's just another acronym.
Right, correct.
It's the same.
Whenever they get in trouble, they change the name.
Yeah, they just say, oh, we got to switch things up now, It's not believable, the pitch we're giving them.
Right.
Go to school, get your education. When you get out of school, get a career. They have to see real life examples that it has actually occurred. And you having that experience as a kid, being removed from the only family you knew, already having disconnection from your parents. This is their stories. They don't see that in the social worker behind the desk. The social worker behind the desk might just be rating your point system. Okay, you complied with these conditions this week. Okay, you get to go out for a couple of hours. But what you demonstrated for them is that it was real. It could be accomplished. It could be done. And I can't even imagine the hundreds, maybe even thousands of kids that you inspired just by being you.
Yes. Thank you.
That's an incredible thing. I often tell the team that I supervise, we don't get to see the seeds we plant grow.
Right.
All we know is that we planted it.
Right.
We might, and especially in public service, you don't always get to see what happens, So now you transition to working with these young people. What was the difference you saw in the juvenile justice from when you was a kid to once you got here in New York? Were they parallel? Was it a little better, the conditions?
They were much better because here in New York City, you have people of different cultures, and you have people with a lot of different agencies. Like where I'm from the Midwest. It was white and black. It was cutthroat. And once you get into that white system, which was the prison or the juvenile justice system, they didn't care that. They didn't give a damn about you. You understand? I was trying to break up a fight one time at 600 school. That's what y'all call them. That's the bad behavior disorderly school. That's where they had sent me after I left there, juvenile. And I was trying to break up a fight. One of the principals or dean grabbed me by the throat and choked me till I pissed on myself. I'm just being quite honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go get my gun that I had at home, come back and shoot at whoever I could.
Rightfully so.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I said to myself is that I'm gonna get out this situation. I'm gonna get out this school. So I stayed to myself. I learned whatever I needed to learn to go back to regular school. And then I end up being, for 2 years straight, the #1 rebounder in the state of Missouri. and got a lot of scholarships offers to go to Division I schools and Division II schools. So back here in New York, what I noticed is that there's a lot of social programs that they are out here trying to help the kids do better, more than other places. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that you have to help you. You know, so when you come in, but you just got to get the kids there and willing and believing.
A lot more resources here.
Yes.
Who was the voice of reason for you? Who was that Mr. Gene for you when you was transitioning?
It was Willie Drake Sr. He was an Army guy from Philadelphia.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He was a former boxer in the Army, and he used to play basketball too.
Mm.
And he was I had my grandfather in my life up until I got like 12 years old. But when I had to move with my mother, when I started living with my mother after my grandfather died, he was a man that had his own family down the street. Mm. And he had nice cars. He worked at Chrysler cars. You know, he had 2 Chrysler cars and everything like that. And he was a worker for Chrysler. And I used to wash his cars for extra money, cut his grass. He had his own son, but his son was spoiled. That's my brother now. That's my brother. You know what I'm saying? But he was real spoiled. But I used to wash his cars. I used to shovel their snow, because back in the day we used to shovel snow for extra money.
Kids now turn their nose up.
Oh yeah, like what? You know what I'm saying? So it's not happening now. You can't find a kid to shovel snow.
No, you really can't.
Right. So then he used to just tell me, and he used to say little jewels like, Gene, one day you're gonna be a man, so when you become a man, you gotta leave all your childly ways alone. So set those aside. He said, you can make your life whatever you want to be. You just got to put the work in. You can't change what happened to you. You understand? But what you can do, you can make it better for yourself. You put the work in, and I'm going to be here in your corner. You do what you got to do, and I'm going to show you that there's people that's out here that care about you. You know what I'm saying? Give your mom an opportunity. You understand? And I had to learn how to love my mother. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing somebody for 12 years and then they want to say, I'm your mama, you got to do what I want to do. After you've been beaten and abused by a family, your own family, because it usually happened in our own family.
It's our own family.
You know what I'm saying? I got the shit beat out of me because that's what happened to them. That's why she left at an early age. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, it was a norm to get beat by a switch or stinching card, race car tracks, all that.
Whatever was reachable.
Whatever was reachable. You understand? So, to go live with my mother, and I had a lot of questions, but it was like, don't ask me no questions, do what I say. And then, now I'm slim, I got a little height to me. You understand? I'm not taking no whoopings no more from you or nobody else.
Right.
I left those whoopings when I was down there in St. Louis in North Market. Now I'm in Wellston, Missouri. I'm not taking no more whoopings.
Right.
You understand? I'm sorry. You missed out on it. You should have been down in my life back then, but it didn't happen. So Mr. Drake came to my life, and he's a pinnacle in my book where I talk about him, and that he was just a great man. You know what I'm saying? He taught me what I needed to know to be a young man and to turn into a pretty good adult, because it could have been something different.
It could have. All the ingredients was definitely in place for you to go in a very different direction.
Right.
And Mr. Drake for you is what you've been to so many.
That's what I try to do.
Kids. And when people minimize paying forward, that's actually paying forward.
And the great thing about having this YouTube show is so many kids that call me and get in touch with me on the YouTube show. Because I didn't stop when I became a parole officer. I was doing part-time work at YCS in Newark. And you know Newark was
It's another community in need. Yes, yes.
And those kids have called me back and say, yo, man, I remember. I remember they used to make fun of you because you used to take your check and buy us all pizzas. And you say, whoever get a good report card, they want skates, I'll buy them skates. I'll buy them coats and the whole nine. They say that, thank you for being who you is. It's made me who I am today. And that's the biggest.
They're paying it forward.
Right. And that's the greatest gift that you can get back from somebody. Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Same Gang is such a pivotal part of your journey into the New York life. You know, that whole Harlem thing. I think because everyone sees Whole Foods, the closing of Mart 125, the disappearance of the street vendors courtesy of the Giuliani regime, they don't know what Harlem was.
Man.
to us, what it was like to not really have to have a plan. You could just get to Harlem. The plan gonna come to you.
Right.
The fun gonna come to you. Good fun too. There was an element, but the fun, the clothes, the music, the cliques,
Right.
like the Same Gang and Posse Deep, and you know, there was a movement
Right.
in Harlem.
Right.
And can you tell us what was the idea behind Same Gang, and how did that pivot you into so many other realms that you went into?
Well, like you just said, everybody was having clicks. Final Four, Best Out, Cash Money Brothers, Niggas for Life, 140 Street Wolves, the 40 Street Wolves,
Lynch Mob.
the Lynch Mob, with the Lynch Mob. You know,
Different type of crew.
You can't really, a whole different type. If you're gonna say Lynch Mob, you gotta say
brothers.
Preacher Crew. They over there, whole different type.
brothers.
Whole different type of thing.
Different fun.
No fear. Popping them on 140th Street, X-Men. You know what I'm saying? All these crews was popping up. And D-Ferg, before they start popping up, D-Ferg said, yo, we're gonna do a crew. This is in 89. But what we gonna call it? He said, yo, all these crews going together, all these crews is, you know, like, they got their different name, they represent their streets, represent what they do and all like that. He said, yo, but I want all us to be together. This is what D. Ferg said. He said, yo, let's call it the Same Gang, to let everybody know when you come party with us, we all in the same gang.
Nice.
Yeah.
You understand? And then that song was popular then too.
Yes, I remember that
You know
was I know Miss Chalet sung the hook.
Yeah.
And it was all of the artists
Right.
from that side came together
The
trying
rappers and stuff like that. So
Answer to self-destruction.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
For the West Coast.
yeah. So then D. Ferg said that. So then I was like, yo, the Same Gang. I didn't like it at first, you know what I'm saying? And then he had this pirate with the do-rag on and stuff, with the glasses and everything. Mike Owens, actually, they called him back in the day Mike Cock. His name now is Mike Sketch. He the one designed the book. You know, he designed the second book too. You know what I'm saying?
April 4th.
April
Be
4th.
ready, people.
Yes. Oh, it's a killer. It got your man in there. I gave him a shout out and I told him our story, Big L.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
definitely want to get into that.
Yeah. So he just said the Same Gang. So then I said, okay, so we said the Same Gang. So he started printing up shirts, Same Gang, Same Gang. Same Gang. He said, yo, we got to do the Same Gang picnic. And the first Same Gang picnic was in Bear Mountain in 89. So I went up there and, you know, like, you had to have credentials back then. And I was basically the only dude that had credentials out the clique.
A very necessary and important piece.
Right.
To
Yeah. So then I went in there and I got the park. They gave us the park, the Bear Mountain and everything like that. And we gave one of the, oh my God, everybody and their mama.
Nice.
From every borough, every place was there. And it was not one incident. See, they don't understand that they had guys back then that had beefs with each other.
Of course they did. It was
They
always
had guys out there that wanted to hurt each other. But when they came to a function back then, they left it wherever they was going to do it at. They didn't bring it to the function. They stayed away from those. That's a big difference now.
Major difference.
You understand? You could see a guy, but you had enough respect for us as a crew that I'm not going to do this on y'all time. I'm just going to have fun because there's so many pretty girls out there.
Right.
There's so many
Let's
guys
get to these
that's showing drinks.
girls.
Yeah.
You understand? And only if these guys could talk. That's what we used to use. You know, we'll get into that Slick and the Family game room. We had a game room on 112th Street to get guys to come in there and talk. You understand? If they had beefs and they had a problem. And that's why I was intricate in, because I could go to any one of those guys in those different crews in those different places. And I say, yo, listen here, man. Old boy want to talk to you. You know, old boy want to straighten this out. You understand? We're going to meet at the fish store at the game room. So D. Ferg wanted to call it the same gang. So everybody in different games and different groups, because when they came, D had enough shirts. You could be on the 40 Wolves. You could be on CB, Cash Money Brothers. You could be in Jewel and them had the All Stars. You could be in any crew. But when you came to the same game function, you wanted to wear the bandana and you wanted to wear their t-shirt. And D. Ferg was giving them out. You know, D. Ferg do 100 dozen or whatever and just give them out. You understand? You would like, yo, that dude ain't same gang. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Today he is.
Today he is.
That's right.
Today he is. And he was just, D was, he was Harlem. You know, he had a store right there on 145th Street between 7th and 8th.
Yeah, 7th and 8th.
7th and 8th. And guys used to come to that store and steal his designs and go and put them on major markets. D. Ferg was the first one who put the different designs on the sleeves or the different designs right there on jackets.
You
understand?
Made the bad boy symbol, right?
Yeah, he made the bad boy symbol and Uptown. He designed it like he told Mike how to draw it. Mike was the artist. You understand? But D. Ferg was the mastermind and say, yo, do this, make it like this, make it like that, and stuff like that. And that's how they worked together. They were both partners. He's actually ASAP Ferg godfather, his official godfather, not the other guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So D was the mastermind behind it. The same gang. I was the architect as far as that. Whenever we gave functions and parties, it would be my ideals because I took what I learned in college. You understand? And said, let's do the same gang picnic. Okay, let's do the boat ride. You understand? Let's get parties and everything like that because you know. Back then, fraternities and sororities, that's how they make their money.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly. And who are you with? Who's your fraternity?
There's only one fraternity I know of. That's Omega Psi Phi.
Omega Psi Phi. Absolutely.
Yeah, Q Dogs.
Q Dogs, exactly. Wasn't the Q Dogs anthem stolen by Vanilla Ice? The Ice Ice Baby, is that a Q Dog anthem?
No. Ah! No, that's the Alphas.
That's the Alphas. I know he stole it from one of our people.
What You Call stole one of our songs, but it was actually a jazz song.
Okay.
But they heard us do it. It's Kid and Play. Oh, I.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Got it.
That song right there. And then, you know, George Clinton made Atomic Doll. We made him an official Q Doll.
Oh, okay.
George Clinton.
So you gave him an honorary membership.
Yes.
He was given an honorary membership. Okay.
Yeah. And so is Farrakhan. He's an honorary Q.
Really?
Yeah. Minister Farrakhan.
Never knew that.
Yes.
Amazing.
Never knew that. See, we learn. We getting lessons
of
over
course.
here. We getting lessons
Gotta
over
soak it
here.
in. Yeah.
I love that. So we have, well, what I think was so great about that movement in Harlem with all the different cliques, like you said, the fun couldn't be disrupted because there's always going to be friction in the street, always. The conversations, there had to be an organization, a crew that could say, this territory is neutral. We can bring the heads together to talk about this before people start getting killed.
You see, that's when you had dudes that were honorable.
Right.
Like, you understand? Like, you get and that was strong in the streets.
Right.
You'll get a guy like that was head of my crew because I left the same gang and started Slick in the family.
Right.
You understand? And Slick was known everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody had a problem, they could come talk to Slick. You understand? And Slick would say, yo, Gene, I need you to go holler at such and such. Yo, Gene, see, can you get in contact with, this, that, and the third? Or people come looking for Slick.
Mm.
And I'll be in front, yo, tell Slick I need to speak to him. What's up? He said, yo, I got this problem, issue. But they know me and Slick was cool. So they would tell me, even though they knew I was law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a parole officer. You understand? But they knew that I'm still Gene. I'm Big Gene. A lot of people didn't know I was a parole officer. You understand? They just knew I was Big Gene.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come and they had those issues, and I don't want to go too forward, like Dougie Fresh had an issue in the streets with one of the notorious crews in Harlem.
The guy you don't want a problem with.
That you don't want a problem with. You didn't want a problem with Unique at Mecca Audio.
No, you didn't. Shout out to the Dundada.
You know what I'm saying?
Hope
He used to
see
get
you soon.
he had the club 2000.
Legendary.
Legendary Club 2000. You didn't want a problem with him. So, but Doug had heard some false information that Unique had a bounty on his head. You understand? He came to Slick, right? And when he came to Slick, he was like, yo, I need to speak to this guy, Unique. You know, there's issues, there's problems, there's situations I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? He got a bounty on my head for 10 racks. That's what they call it now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But Slick was like, yeah? And Slick just listening. He's a great listener. You may not think he listening to you, but he listening. So, but Doug said something about somebody in Brooklyn, and it pissed Slick off right quick. Slick said, well, listen here, man, get your dudes from Brooklyn to handle it.
Right.
You understand? Talk to Gene, maybe he'll call Unique. So Dougie Fresh looked at me. He was with Miss Jones. Miss Jones, if she wanted to attest to this, she went into the fish store. Right? Because we had a fish store and we had a game room right around the corner. You understand? She went into the fish store. So then Dougie said, yo, can you call Unique? I said, I can call him. I got no control over this guy.
I could give him a shout.
I could call him. And Unique had enough respect for me. You understand? We had enough respect for each other as men. You understand? That he would listen to me. So I picked up my phone. I had my phone back then. We had the flip joints. Flip my phone in front of him. And that back then, people don't understand. Our bills was $750.
Easily, because there was no calling plan.
You had another.
It was per minute. Okay.
You had to have another job.
Yes,
if you
just
had
for the phone. Yes.
And you ain't have, you wasn't like the dudes in the street that had the knock, stuff like that.
That bill was like a rent.
$750.
All
My
day.
bill was anywhere from $500 to $750 a month.
That's
and
right.
You tell people, don't call me till after 7.
That's right. What, you crazy?
They don't call me till after 7. Or they call a payphone.
Right. The payphones was an extension of the house phone.
Yeah, exactly.
You could call the payphone on 145th. You could call the payphone in East Tremont and like a house. Hey, so-and-so out there, they say, hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
So-and-so. Nah, they not here yet.
That's
so we had to navigate differently.
Yes. So Doug said, could you call? I said, I'll call him. So I called Unique. He picked up right away. So I said, what up, Nick? He said, what's up? I said, you looking for Dougie Fresh? He said, where he at?
See, as a matter of fact.
I said, yo, Unique. Doug want to holler at you, man. Want to have a man-to-man conversation with you. You understand? You willing to? Gene, where you at right now? I said, yo, because Unique used to talk real fast and stuff like that. Yesterday I said, I'm on 12th and 8th. Yo, he came down there, had like 4 carloads. He had like 4 different cars. You know what I'm saying? He had the Jeep, the MPV, the BMW, and somebody had all niggas in the car and stuff
Just
like that.
visualizing the
Right
setting.
there.
I would definitely want to be standing
Yeah.
if I was Doug.
So Unique came out, his man came out. He said, yo, what's up, man? Where Dougie at? I was like, yo, Unique, you making the block hot right now. Could you do me a favor, bro? If you ain't worried and nothing like that, could you tell everybody to go down by the school on 12th Street? You understand? You keep your man right here. And he said, I ain't worried about nothing. Hey, all y'all go down the block. I'll meet you down the block. So all those dudes jumped in their cars and they went down the block. You know, Unique had the one car right there. All the rest of the guys went down the block. So he said, so what's up, Big G? I said, come on, man. Dougie in the fish store. So went in there. I said, yo, Dougie, you go Unique. Yeah, I know each other. Y'all rap. And I stepped outside the fish store, you know, and let them rap. They rap like gentlemen, so-called like men. And I think Dougie ended up turning over the rights to that song, Ayo, all right, over to Unique. Because that was Unique, the
That's
song
his.
and they call.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand? That was their whole call, they was whole plan. You understand? He was planning on doing that as a big song because they used to call Unique the Uncle Luke of the East. You know what I'm saying? He was, you know, the Uncle Luke of the East. You know what I'm
He
saying?
brought Miami to New York.
He brought that strip club atmosphere, all that shit to his club and everything.
Yes.
You understand? I bodyguard Onyx up in there one time. You understand? So, long story short, they worked out their issues. We had a lot of different situations like that we had guys that had beefs and problems that we was working out and you didn't get it to the streets where it messed up the block parties. You know, you got guys right now, which in Harlem, they can't even give block parties. Everybody used to have block parties every summer. Now it's not even that way. You gotta get special permit, and then now it's from 9 o'clock to 6 or 7 o'clock or something. You gotta close up the block. We used to give a block party. We'll start putting everything out there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we would start taking stuff down to 1, 2 o'clock at night. And it's not been never an incident or a problem. And you have everybody coming to your block, eating, having fun, and meeting new and pretty girls all the time.
The women were such a motivation to keep things balanced.
Right, always.
You know, and that's throughout history. You know, the women play such an intricate role in keeping the biggest monsters in the room appeased. And I think now the women are the agitators.
Right.
Because this generation of young women, they're missing something very important. They don't want to be ladies. And when you don't want to sit like a lady, when you don't want to talk like a lady, when you're inviting someone to testicles you don't have, and saying it with authority, like you do have it, it changes the dynamic in how the men interact with you. You don't feel soft. You don't speak soft. You don't even smell soft. You know what I mean? And I can say this because I'm a woman and I have nieces. You know, they would be mad at you guys for calling it out, but I could call it out. And I think that's such an important piece. That's what motivates men to be successful. That's what motivates them to not have the bang out at the party. You know, we got the girls here. You know, let's chill, let's talk, let's communicate. And I think if there are any, those who have a voice, who could talk to the younger men, who could facilitate diplomatic meetings like you did so many times, because I'm sure you've done that many, many times. Facilitated a peace meeting, because that's what that is. They don't. But because the reaction, they don't respect your position. the connections that you with. Because now if they don't see it across their news feed, it's not real.
Right. Like, you have guys call me broke and, yo, this nigga got no money, he broke, he this, that, and stuff like that, because you might not see the flashy jewels on me and stuff like that.
Because you didn't get a diamond injected in your forehead.
Right. Got them, but you may not see them all the time.
Right.
You might not know I bought my house in a up-to-do Jewish neighborhood in 1999.
But they didn't want us
You know what I'm saying? When they didn't want us there.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, and because I wanted my kids to go to a certain kind of school district. You understand? Because I was tired of paying to go to parochial school. You understand?
We
So
understand.
why am I paying to go to parochial school
Right.
an extra $1,700 a month?
Correct.
When I could put that into a house.
Right. And that's a part of my taxes.
And that's a part of my taxes. You understand? And my kids could go to a good school.
Yes.
You understand? So what you were saying and what happened is that you got to realize, and you could say this as being a woman, the women used to come to the clubs to see us. You understand? And they would get dialed up. You understand? They knew we had to have something on that was nice. Because back then, when we came into the club, you couldn't get in the club if you was looking like a bum.
No.
I don't care how much you paid.
Right.
No, we don't want that in here. You said, I don't care. You can have your jewels on with the t-shirts, the jeans, Jordan. Nah, bro. Next time.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
You understand? So the women used to come to the club to see us. Because they knew we had the drinks. You understand? Whatever they needed or whatever like that, the whole 9 yards, and we was going to treat them like women.
He was going to be safe.
And you was going to be safe. You understand? I get, and I didn't really understand that the girls think the guys are coming to the club, and we are coming for some fine women or nice women, but it's about them. It's all about them. Oh, I'm a host. What, you selling bottles or something, Mom? What's going on? These girls start doing parties talking about, I'm a host. You understand? Thinking it was all about them. You understand? And when I seen that transition change and the women start being more disrespectful, I knew it was all downhill, because once you start being so disrespectful and you don't know how to respect men, you understand? Because you say men don't know how to respect you, you got to understand, men treat women the way the woman want to be treated. If you got a fine woman, a woman who demands that respect, most guys are gonna give that woman that respect.
It's in her aura.
Right, it's in her aura.
Yes, that's right.
She demands respect. Like I was sitting next to you. Listen to me. And she said aura. I was sitting next to Grant Hill's wife, and she was
yes, Tamia.
Tamia. She was right in front of me, man. I couldn't even really look at Big Show, because the aura of her was so great, it just had me enticed.
And they still married.
Right. I was like, yo, that man's the luckiest woman. He's the luckiest man in the world, bro. Because when a woman walks in and just around her, she just make men just bow down. That's what we missing. We missing more young ladies trying to be a woman like her.
They don't see the value in it now. And
because they could be their own bosses.
Because they could be your own boss.
I'm my own boss. And our race is the only race of women
that is trying that.
Just trying to and talk like that.
And nobody else is doing that.
Nobody.
No, the other women in the world, not too much value in that. Yeah. I can achieve my education. I can achieve my career goals, but their priority still remains, I want it all. I still want to be treated like a lady, and I want a husband. You know, I still want that, you know, and I think a lot of our young women, you know, the career, the boss, the quest to be a boss, it overshadows everything, and you forget just your instinct as a woman, or what should be also on your priority list to know how to be treated. You worked at Sue's Rendezvous, another legendary place, came in contact with one of the biggest stars out of the Bronx right now, Cardi. You
Cardi
know,
B, Amber Rose.
Amber Rose was there
You know what I'm saying?
also.
Gypsy was there. Another up and rising star, Major Galore. I don't know if you've seen her. Major Galore, she was there. Gypsy, Diana, all those girls. I used to have to hold Cardi back at the end of the night most of the time.
She was a fighter then too.
Yeah, she was a fighter. But Cardi had a heart of gold because those girls who were stranded or didn't have a place, she would open up her house to them, only to get talked about by them a couple of times, and then she would have to try to whoop their ass at the end of the night at the club. For real. And
I could totally see that.
I used to just laugh all the time. But Cardi, she asked me one time, she said, Gene, I come here on time. So I don't have to pay the extra dues. Because, you know, girls pay to strip.
Yes.
And a lot of people, I don't know if people know that.
I don't think a lot of people know
They
that.
have to pay to strip at Sue's. You have to pay their dues every night. Every night you got to pay. So she said, I come so I have to pay the extra dues because you come late after 9 o'clock, you got to pay extra money. So there's this one dancer named Diana. She was one of my favorites because I used to drive her or take her to her car or drive her to places she wanted to because she trusts the individual just not looking at them in that certain manner. You know what I'm saying? Always respect them as women. So Cardi was just, me and her was on the side of the stage. And she said, Gene, I come here early at 9 o'clock every time. She comes here at 12 o'clock. She do 2 or 3 rounds and she got $5,000 or $6,000. You understand? Easy. Why? Why, Gene? She asked me that. I said, it's about class. You see how she come in? Got a trench coat, got a bag, about business. She come here and hit the stage, go through everything. Like she not laughing, talking, and joking in people's face. She's showing the men them that attention. You understand? And she's carrying herself like a lady. You understand? Next thing you know, Cardi got into this dude, what's his name? He was a DJ. Then he had started coming to the club. And then this girl named, I'm gonna give y'all a jewel. It was a girl named Ratchet, was it Ratchet something. Gypsy Ratchet Gypsy. She was Dominican. She could not do English well. She could not speak English well. Her name was Ratchet something on Instagram. She was showing Cardi and them how she had guys coming to the club with her Instagram doing the stuff that Cardi started doing in English. You understand? The stuff that Cardi B started doing in English, she was already doing it in Spanish, getting guys to come to the club.
So she had her own following.
She had her own
all
following.
in Spanish.
Right, in Spanish like that. Because she couldn't speak, I used to take her home too. She couldn't speak English that well. It was comfortable more for her to speak Spanish in there. She was showing Cardi them. Cardi started doing it in English. Talking, well, we say broken English.
Bronx English.
Bronx English. So Cardi started doing it. And that's how Cardi started getting a lot of followers. And she started getting noticed and everything like that. Because she really didn't have no name when she came to the club. She got her name from a dude called Bacardi. Bacardi was the guy who did the bottle service, and he was the one to put the girls on stage.
Okay.
And Cardi asked her, she said, yo, she said, you gotta have a name. What's your name? She said, what's your name? He said, my name Bacardi. So just call me Bacardi. That was her name, Bacardi.
History.
You know what I'm saying? People don't, you know what I'm saying? That's stuff I learned. Other people, you know, Amber Rose came.
She came from
She
Sue's
came from
too.
Sue's. Kanye West came in there, saw her one night, got up out of there. You understand?
Just like that.
Yeah. You ain't gonna go?
She left the shoes on the stage. I'm out of here.
You know, so like Sue's Rendezvous had a lot of talent in there, and they had a lot of young girls that were going there trying to get their education and everything like that. But like I used to tell them, you know, listen to me, man. But you know how women is. They'll go and they'll make $3,000 or $4,000, and they'll go get that big ass Louis bag or stuff like that to keep their stuff in it. Then they just gave Louis $3,000 or $4,000. Now they got to come and work for
Another night.
another two,
And
three nights
another
a
two
night,
nights.
like
And,
that,
and
to get
before
that
you know
back.
it, you in the cycle.
Yeah,
Because you started off with your plan,
right.
but now your desires and your likes change. You
Right.
know, I'm making this money, so, you know, okay, I'm going to tap into, you know, my earnings a little bit, get this Louis bag. And if they're going to customize their body,
Right.
now you're in a whole nother fix, right? Because a lot of the girls do get
Yeah, they do.
customization,
They
you
do.
know, and you got to keep it,
Uh-huh.
you know. And Kanye's not walking in snatching everybody off the stage. But when you talk about Cardi, I see it's almost like an uncle.
Yeah.
You seem really proud of her.
No, I'm very proud of her. You understand? I'm very proud of her accomplishments, and I'm proud of that she became a businesswoman. And sometimes you see her, and I know that that's not her. You know, as far as she ain't that wild. She was never like that around me. You know, she was in the working out. When she got wild, it was because somebody disrespected her, and she wanted to really fight them. She wanted to really fight them, like that girl who came on Tasha K and was talking about her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I knew the true story. You understand?
This is the girl that started those ugly rumors.
Right.
Tasha ate it up with a biscuit and honey, and it later developed into a lawsuit.
Right.
That's the girl we talk about. Okay.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Cardi's gonna whoop her ass that night. I held her.
Now, she was a girl from the club?
She was a girl from the club.
Okay.
She was from the club. She actually was living with Cardi.
Betrayer. Wow.
She was living with Cardi. I'm not even gonna go into
it. Talking about it.
Yeah, I'm not even going.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Cardi handled it like a businesswoman. And as a fellow Bronx bombshell, I'm proud of her too. You know, I love the fact that she went from the club to the boardroom. She's a brand now. She's a brand.
Yeah.
And
about to bring Reebok back.
Yeah.
They gave
Reebok
her
is
a
multi-million dollar deal. She about to bring Reebok back. Which we used to love Reebok, and it kind of, you know, dwindled. So that's good. I want to go back to, you made a very interesting comment about how the youth now, if they don't see it across their timeline, if they don't feel your finances is where they believe, even if they don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out themselves, right? They don't take your word, your status, your position seriously because they don't see, you know, what they consider the proof of it, which is only riches. That's all they respect now, riches, or the illusion of what is rich, right? And we also started to see money became, or riches, wealth, or the idea of wealth became the excuse to behave badly. You could do whatever you want to do. You could say whatever you want to say. You can commit the worst atrocities ever, and it's excused. I think for us, money wasn't always enough. Your word, your integrity, the crew that you was a part of, that was your real power. When we see what's happening with Puff right now, and how quickly this thing is unraveling. Do you think this is this generation's understanding that money and wealth is not always enough when the pigmentation is different? That you could be brought down?
Well, they've been bringing our people down since Billie Holiday and probably before her. They did the same thing to Sam Cooke.
Yes.
They did the same thing to Billie Holiday.
Yes.
You understand? When we as people make a statement, as Malcolm X, as Martin Luther King, and we try to show our people a different way, then they can't allow that to happen. That's because we are already a superior person by the melatonin in our skin.
Which comes great responsibility.
Right. So what happens now in the situation is that they used hip hop against hip hop. You understand? They took our people and gave a few of them, the ones that wasn't educated. They say, yo, listen to me. We can't give this money to Chuck D. He's gonna create power. We can't give money like that to people like leaders of the new, not leaders of the new school, the poor righteous teacher, because they teach in power. We can't get this money to KRS-One because his education, you know, of his people and allowing him to know about us will make great descendants. You understand? So what they had to do was give it to those that will stay quiet. You see, speaking of Puff, he didn't have this problem until he tried to emulate somebody that he wasn't, and that was Tupac. He made that speech about being right towards our people at the Grammys and stuff like that. If you listen to what he said, it was the same thing that
It was
Tupac
Pac's
said.
speech.
It was Pac's speech. You understand? Then he tried to go after the oldest and one of the richest distributor companies of spirits in the world that had put him on that pedestal. You understand?
Absolutely.
He tried to go after them by saying they were racist.
They weren't marketing his brand the way they were marketing. They were limiting his audience. The Ciroc audience was right here. He said, "Why is this being globally promoted? Why are you trying to keep me in this corner?" So yeah, he made an enemy there.
Right. He made an enemy. But we all know, don't bite the hand that feeds you.
One of the first rules of the playground.
Right. So he did all that. But he played into their he played into their part, he played into their realm when he stated that they made that song. And I say this all the time. When they made that song, money, power, respect. That's ass backwards. We all know that. We all know that's ass backwards. Because if you know anybody who was in the streets, anybody that was in our community, they know that you got the power, they got you the respect, that brought you money. So when they start saying money, power, respect, we got them. We gonna get them money. They gonna think they gonna have the power, but they ain't gonna get the respect.
You're not gonna get the respect. Very true.
See, Puff had the opportunity, but they wouldn't have gave it to him then. But when he got enough money, and Jay got millions and billions, he got millions and billions, we could orchestrate this, whereas that we could start teaching ours the right way, even though we had to take it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's build some individuals the right way so they don't have to go to the back room.
Mm-hmm. They could sit right here in the front.
They can sit right in the front.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to lay on the couch. They can sit on the couch.
Mm-hmm. They don't have to compromise their soul.
They don't have to compromise anything about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They could have did that, but they didn't. They treated the individuals like they were treated.
Yeah.
Instead of teaching them, they continue to beat them. I'm not going to beat you. I'm going to teach you so you could go on. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I teach you, you're going to feed yourself, and then you're going to teach somebody else. Help them feed themselves. So I just believe that they get themselves in those type of opportunities. They get themselves in those type of problems, and now I'm through with you. It's time to pay the piper.
Mm.
You have disrespected or bit the hand that feeds you. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show the people around you. They trying to make him the face of something that he's not.
That's what I think kind of has me unsettled. You know, Puff, Irv, Russ, we had so many executives, you know, at one time. And I think it definitely has some boundaries. Their business practices, you know, depends on who you ask, might not have been the greatest, but the way business is practiced with them wasn't the greatest. So
Right.
like you said, they just kept that tradition going instead of saying, you know what, I'm not going to do business that way.
Right.
I want to make sure my people are okay.
The younger people I'm bringing up under me.
The younger people that are looking up to me, like, you know, I'm here to learn. I'm here. I want to be in this position too. I think they're now using our music, the culture, you know, the faces of the culture as sexual deviants. Everything seems to be connected with some kind of sexual depravity. Now, say he robs people. Say his business practices haven't been that great. Say he owes his artists countless dollars. Say the contracts was shit with invisible ink. But to throw in sex trafficking, to try to say, you know, I just think this genre is now being used in a way that we just know is not all the way correct. You know, he done enough dirt. We now going to throw this in there too. It's almost like sexual crimes or crimes related to any kind of sexual offense. I don't care who you are globally, it makes you uncomfortable. People don't like that.
Right.
Whether you are East Indian or Native Indian, no one likes that.
Right.
It's looked down on.
Right.
And it seems like each person in a position of power, this is the throne. This is the dart that's thrown. You know, can't just say, you know, once upon a time it was drug dealing. Oh, you know, you sold drugs, you scum of the earth. Oh no, we got to go further than that now.
Right.
Epstein's not the face of sexual depravity. Walt Disney is not the face of sexual depravity. How
Ed
is
McMahon.
WWF.
Ed McMahon.
You see how quickly that got swept under? I almost forgot
Yeah. I didn't.
about him. Right?
Yeah. You understand?
Almost forgot.
Right. Disney.
Right.
And but the thing about it is that, you know, that's what they want hip hop to. That's what they want to make. They want to take one of the greatest person as far as making music of hip hop, that face of hip hop. You know, like people think that I got into this whole thing to bring Puff down. You understand? And if you read my book, did it seem like I was bringing him down?
No, didn't seem like that at all.
they'll say, somebody will say, I'll tell stories about how that somebody had spiked champagne and or spiked liquor or whatever, like the orange juice or like that. They'll say, I said it was Puff. I never said it was Puff.
Never said that was Puff, and that's not even in.
I have a thing in here where I had to pay my lawyer. I had to get a lawyer to fight this case for me against Fox.
Because Fox is taking bits and pieces.
Right. And saying that I said that Sean Combs spiked girls' drinks.
Right.
You see my
Never
lawyer?
said that. And your lawyer definitely put together something. They better cut it out and recant that.
Right.
Give them ample time to recant.
That's what you have to.
But they better
That's what my lawyers told me.
They better make it speedy.
And he come from where they come from. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's a beast. He was in New York 1st.
Mm-hmm. And now he's in the Midwest.
St. Louis, in the Midwest.
Okay.
But he's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Stokes. He can deal with cases in New York. He can deal with cases in Missouri. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Brian Stokes, he's a beast. He done worked on cases for K. Slay, myself, everything. You know, I'm not having it. I fought the states for years.
Right.
I had 6 arbitration hearings and won every last one of them. You understand? This ain't been an easy run for me.
No, it hasn't.
You understand? Listen to me.
This was your therapy right here.
Right. I've had 15 or more phone calls from Fox Soul, from Nightline, from Chris Como and them, from every high-profile news channel trying to get me to do an interview for them.
Now. Not 5-6 years ago.
Not 5-6 years ago. No. I was crazy. I was this bum. You know, I ain't never been a bum. I can show you pictures from when I stepped in New York from 86 to now. I ain't never been a bum. You understand? That they tried to get me to come on a station to talk about Puff and what's happening to him now. What I said to them, I respectfully declined to talk about anything about Mr. Combs. The things that I've said it on YouTube channels and other people podcasts. If they allow you to, you could get it from them. You understand? I told a young lady that from the Post. She said I was hostile to her and everything like that.
Because you said no.
Because I said no.
That's all. Because you said no.
You understand? So, and why people want to think that this is Gene Deal doing this to Puff. This is not me doing this to Puff.
No.
Not at all.
And this was never your goal.
Never my goal.
Never your goal.
You understand? My goal was for him to do right by the people. We all was together. We was wrong. It's something that you hadn't said here yet. You understand? And I appreciate that. Puff was same gang.
Absolutely. I know.
Puff was same gang.
Pretty much.
I was there when
your nephew.
Yeah. I was there when we jumped them in. Tone Wap and them that do that song, do the Tone Wap. Tone Wap and them chased them for 20-something blocks and brought them back. We were smashing them in the head with everything, pouring champagne on them, embarrassing them the whole 9 yards. The younger guys was beating them on them, you know, beating on them in the whole 9 yards. You understand what I'm saying? But he was same gang. He never came back. When he lost his job at Uptown Records,
after the city college
thing where 9 people died, same gang dudes took care of him.
Nursed him back to health.
Nursed him back, let him go to party. He was going to party with, put money in his pocket, help him pay his bills. The whole 9 yards. Eddie F. paying his car note. D. Ferguson collecting money, giving it to guys. He never came back and gave nobody nothing. You got to understand it's so true. The people that you see on your way up that ladder might be the same ones you see when you come down.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I got tired of him saying, yo, Wolf, my man, when you was an intricate part of that man losing his life.
Why was that cake baked for someone who financed Bad Boy, for someone as intricate as Wolf was to getting that off the ground? Why did he start baking that cake for Wolf? Why?
Because you got to realize is that, and Wolf was the type of individual, he come in the room, he demand respect.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he was this thug, because Wolf was a pretty boy. And he had that gangster exterior that when he come in the room, the women want to be around him. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
The women flock to them. A lot of these guys who got money,
They
like,
don't have that combo.
they don't have that
They got
combo.
the money.
Right. Like 50 said it best. Right?
Mm.
My wrist talk for me, my ring talk for me.
Yeah, my
Bow.
watch
What's
talk
up,
for
homie?
me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
He said it best.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? He ain't got to say nothing because he got all that stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But a lot of these guys don't have the gift of gab and conversation. You understand? They couldn't talk their way out of water.
Mm.
But see, Puff was the type of dude that when Wolfman was around, the attention didn't get to him until he became who he is now.
Mm.
See, that's what people don't understand. When we was around, Puff didn't have no attention.
Because even as part of the same gang, he wasn't the stars.
He wasn't
same
he wasn't
gang.
part of the start of
He
the
was
game.
one of the nephews.
Exactly.
Right.
He wants, yo, y'all gonna wait on me, y'all gonna wait on me. I gotta do this because I'm running around for Andre Orel. I'm doing this stuff like this.
You keep
Wait on me. Please, please. D loved him so much, yo, we gonna wait on Puff, he on his way and everything like that. Because he would be waiting outside if we go in the party without him.
Mm-hmm.
He would have to pay or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Then when he got the Bad Boy, people don't understand he didn't become that bad boy dude until after Big was dead and he started doing the shows and the liquor and all that other stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He became a different person.
Mm.
You understand? Whereas that he was getting the fine when he had to open his mouth. You got to realize after you show the world that you pulled a Jennifer Lopez, what else you got to say to a woman?
Right.
You know as a woman that most men pull women when they got a fine woman.
They want to see who you with before or who you with now.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the measuring tape.
Right.
Of his value.
Right.
You know, if she looked like, Carol Burnett, she was like, you like to get, stay in your league. Shout out to Carol Burnett. But, there is, that's what draws women, besides his aura,
Right.
His presence, who is he with? Who's checking for him?
Right.
Who's giving him some attention right now? So that's
Why
very
those girls
true.
at the bar with him like this?
Mm-hmm.
You get more women when you with a pretty woman.
Very true. Very true. Women are predatory in that way.
Yeah.
They present themselves, when they see, oh, okay.
I'd have been at the
That's what's
bar
up with
with
you.
women, and then girls that came over and put their hand in my pocket and left that's when they used to write their
When
numbers.
the numbers was written. Oh, boy, that's
Well,
a while ago.
and you don't even know that. One time, this girl, I was at the bar. We was at Envy's. If people,
Where you went to get dressed.
yeah, when you had to get dressed. I had a stack of singles that I hit through the bartenders. Throw the singles up there like that. I had that in that pocket. But then I had a stack of hundreds. But I thought the girl must have thought that I put it in this pocket. You know what I'm saying? But I put that in my pocket up here. The hundreds right there. So then, they be watching you. You understand? So I'm at the bar, and this shit was funny, you know, motherfucker. I'm talking to this girl. I'm with talking to her, hey, what's up, drinking stuff, having fun. So this girl, I'm like, yo, what's going on, ma? She said, no, I'm just trying to leave my number in your pocket. I was like, you know, something like that. So girl, you know, she was with her girlfriends talking right there like that. And so then she put her number in my pocket, right? And she had some newspaper cut up like singles. Yeah. And got that out and put the newspaper and switched, did the switch.
Oh, she was good.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, she was good. Yeah.
So I did like this. I just like this. She did that. I felt the money right there. But it was number singles. You understand like that? But then when I went to pay the some tip money,
You're like, well,
it was
the Daily
newspaper.
News and the Amsterdam. Where my singles at?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Shout out to that sister. You
Yeah,
had good game back then.
Yo, she got me right
And
there.
she was brave.
I'm
That
like,
was
yo.
quite brave. Yeah, that
Yo,
was
because
quite
I
brave.
would, you know, I went looking
yeah,
for her.
that was brave.
She was gone.
She was gone.
She was at the next club.
Yeah, she was like, I bet she was like, yo, that nigga, I know he had hundreds.
She said, "What this?
Damn,
Give
that
me the other stack of the newspaper money. I gotta find the hundreds." I know Mr. Rodney Jones, his lawsuit has some really disturbing points in it. Do you think some of these things are exaggerations?
I think that the lawyer would have to really prove a lot of stuff that's in that lawsuit that he compiled together. I don't believe everything in it.
Neither do I.
But at this stage, like I said before, the enemy of my enemy, I consider my friend. I don't care. I have like people don't understand. People got a false ideology, a false sense of Puff and I relationship. You know what I'm saying? You know, I left and said, yo, I ain't fucking with Bad Boy no more.
Not once.
Twice.
Twice, right?
You understand? After the City College, after Big. You understand? And then when we had that incident in the office with his mother, I just said, yo, man, fuck it. I ain't doing this shit no more. I didn't have to. You understand? People don't understand. I wasn't like a weekly worker or stuff like that. I was a contract worker. When he had a problem,
own business.
I had my own stuff. When he had a problem, he had situations, yo, call Gene. Call Gene. Because everybody knew not only was I slick in the family, I was with Black Hands.
Black Hand. We're going to get to that.
You understand? I was with Black Hands. You understand? So at that time, you know, I'm the go-to, man. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody was messing with Gene or anybody that was Gene that was dealing with. And Puff and them knew that. You understand? So when Puff had to go somewhere or Puff had a problem, I would get a call out my bed sometimes. Yo, Gene, we down here. Puff want to know, can you come down here? You understand? Yo, Gene, Puff out of town. Can you go to Atlanta this weekend? Can you go to Miami? Can you go to Cali? You understand? I look at it as babysitting money. Ain't no problem. I'll do it. You understand what I'm saying? You know, we had that type of relationship. You understand? So people can say whatever they want to say. You understand? So my whole thing about it is that our relationship, even when I left him, I'm running the King Dome basketball tournament on 115th. And what I mean running, I did the whole security. That's when Freddie Myers came home. You understand? Freddie Myers, one of the biggest gangsters, New York Freddie, that was in Harlem. Legendary. Send a wad of money over here like this to me. Yo, get us to the security. Y'all break this down with the security. That's what the dude told me. I said, man, take that shit back to him. I don't want his money. If he want to give it to security, tell him go around there to get all the security guys money. Fuck I am. I don't work for you. Always been like that. You can ask Jewel Rutledge from Felon Magazine, the All-Stars. Yo, sent 5 bottles We in Sin City. He sent 5 big ass bottles, 2 those quarter bottles of champagne over to my table. Just after I left, over to my table. I said, man, I said, who's that for? Jules. Damn, Jules, I ain't do that. Oh, yo, Puff sent this over there to y'all. I said, I don't want that shit. Take that shit back. Jules said, fuck that. We drinking this shit.
I'll drink it.
I said, I ain't drinking shit. And I moved over to another table. You understand?
Because it's about the principle.
It's about the principle of the thing. It's always been like that. Puff knew what type of dude I was. Puff knew that I would lay down my life for me, for him. You understand? Puff know I saved his life on a couple of occasions. You understand what I'm saying? He know I didn't care nothing but about his safety. You understand? He broke that when he lied, when he disrespected other people's mamas, when he didn't do right by people we all love together.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You broke that, bruh. So people thinking that, yo, this nigga fight. Nigga, I worked for New York State Parole for 27 years.
Absolutely.
You understand? I ran elite investigations at those places. You understand? And I know you talk to me. I remember Gene, Big Gene, you talk to people with Lambert House. You probably seen me yourself. You just didn't know because I was skinny.
And I was a teenager, so my attention span was...
But you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So my whole thing about it is this, is that I always knew how to get money.
Right.
Yo, guys would call me in front, they in the club. Yo, Gene, yo, can you make it up to such and such right here? I'm gonna stay here till you get here. Go up in the club, I'm coming out with my hammer in my hand.
Nene?
I got my hammer in my hand, walking them to their car. You understand? Walking them to their car. $1,500 easy.
Just for protection, escort to a vehicle.
To a vehicle. Making sure he get on the highway, making sure he going right there. I done stood in front of Sue's Rendezvous. Dudes had stopped, jumped out their car. Damn.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
People don't understand that I didn't have those issues. I didn't have those problems. I never needed Bad Boy for nothing. I stopped in 2004. Nigga, what you think? Look, I got fatter.
Because you retired. You're on vacation now.
But I'm just saying, I got bigger. I ain't miss no meals. I didn't miss not a meal. This is about principles. This is what our young kids don't understand. It ain't about the money.
It's about integrity. They don't understand that part. That's the part I think is the biggest misconception about your relationship with Puff. They don't understand. He wasn't Diddy.
Right. He was not.
Diddy was later.
Right.
And
he had just turned to Diddy.
He had just turned to Diddy. And if they know the history of kids don't play these games anymore, but you broke it down very good. Who Diddy was in the Donkey Kong game?
He was Donkey Kong little nephew.
Yes. Pain in the ass. Causing mischief.
Right.
And when Big gave Puff that name, it wasn't because this was his best friend.
Right.
You caught it.
Right.
What it meant.
Right when he said it.
Right away.
Because I've been to the end of the Donkey Kong game.
And if you haven't, you don't really know that this wasn't a name that was given like, this is my partner, this is my homie, Big was on his way out the door.
Exactly.
He had, despite all the barriers that was in front of him, been given an opportunity to do his own thing.
And Puff tried to make it seem like that it was, I let him go do his own label and everything like that. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I don't think we've ever seen him be that great, that supportive in that way.
This what the deal was. And this was called the conflict between Puff and Big. Un came up with the Junior Mafia ideal. That's Un Rivera. You know what I'm saying? That was Big's business partner. He came up with the Junior Mafia, the ideal of Big being Big Papa. You know, before the Big Papa shit, he had the do-rag and he was partying bullshit.
Because he was on his way to be a part of Thug Life.
Thug Life. You understand what I'm saying? So he was on a whole different parameter. You know what I'm saying? And then say, nah, it's about how many cars you got, how many girls you get, your jewels, this, that, and you got to rap about this shit like. And then he takes, they take Pac, what you call model from I Get Around, right? But this is the thing. He went to Andre Harrell. Andre Harrell said that shit'll never work.
He didn't see it.
Right. Told Un that. I spoke to Tim Dog, who was over there. I'm talking about Tim Dog, the record producer.
Shout out to Tim Dog,
that
friend
had,
of the platform.
Brother.
You understand? That had what you call that group? From Queens.
The Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys. Yeah. And Tim Dog did a lot of music for Heavy D.
Everybody. Yeah.
Everybody. He's a genius. He's a business genius.
We had him on here, about a month ago.
Yeah. A business genius, brother.
Absolutely.
You understand? I could tell you some shit that Tim did behind the scene that he don't want people to know. But he's a business genius.
He has a vision. He had a vision, yeah.
You know, and gave all that up because of the wild shit. You understand? Tim could call me at any time too, and I would put somebody right in their place for Tim. He almost had to do Clyde Davis like that. Tim don't play that shit. You understand? So now, he goes to Andre Harrell, like I said, told him that shit'll never work.
That'll never work.
Goes to Clyde Davis. Clyde Davis said, I see your vision. Who do he call? He calls his boy, Sean Puffy Combs. Sign on them. I like what he talking about. I like this, that, and the third, the whole 9 yards. We need them give him a deal under Bad Boy umbrella. Puff refused to. Goes to Arista, or not Arista, he goes to Atlantic or Capital, something like that, where Lil' Kim, her deal, she makes 5 million records, sold 5 million CDs and stuff in her first outing. 5 million.
Yeah, the hardcore album.
You understand what I'm saying? That's all and Big. Because Big was secretly giving them Junior Mafia, so he do something hot for Puff, then he do something hot for Junior Mafia or Lil' Kim and stuff like that. That's why Puff was over there spying on Big and them the day Tupac got killed. Got shot. Got shot. He was over there spying on them because he trying to catch Big writing and producing their songs because he not getting no money back for the $200,000 he gave Big for his publishing. Because Big is taking and putting that, he's taking and putting the publishing in other people's names. Tatiana, his daughter. She ain't write a damn thing. But the publishing is in her name. You understand? Letting Lil' Kim keep some of the shit. He might write some Lil' Kim, because he used to tell me Lil' Kim could write too. Because he told me, I'm going to keep Lil' Kim, I'm going to keep C's, I'm going to keep this other dude, Clef or something like that. I don't know. One of them. He said Clef or whatever, but I'm getting rid of the whole Junior Mafia because they got to understand this is a business and they not going to ready to do business. I'm going to have to redo the whole Junior Mafia. Swear for a living Jesus, he told me that. You understand?
And that makes sense because that's when we started hearing more about the commission.
Right. You understand? So now, Puff didn't sign him. Clyde Davis here, just signed, he didn't sign it, but just got a deal from Capitol for $62 million for him and Big.
Sounds different than
Now they done spent
200,000.
all this money to make Big go over to London. To go over London, right? For this whole European thing. But when he gets back from London, he ain't even the bad boy no more. He ain't even under Arista no more. Because his contract is over. He just gotta work out his worked his last album. He done. So now, who mad at the motherfucker? You done fucked up my relationship with my boss, Clyde Davis, and Arista. You done messed up my relationship with them. You done signed this deal with all these groups. You taking them over to somebody else? Because you know them folks don't like that.
Oh, no.
But they was brought to him first, though, right?
They was both.
And he didn't sign them.
Who?
Puff.
Right.
Yeah.
He was told to sign by Clyde Davis.
And he didn't do it.
He didn't do it. Because of Un. He hated Un.
Why did he hate Un so much?
Because Un was telling Big how to move.
Un was giving Big the education Puff wouldn't.
Right.
He wanted to keep him like Mace, how you were saying, without knowing the game.
Right.
And Un is giving him the game.
Right. And Un is reading and learning and talking to people. Tim told me Un is one of the greatest minds in hip hop. Tim told me that about Un. You know what I'm saying? He said Un is one of the greatest minds in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Un was walking behind the scenes on movies and the whole 9 yards. You know what I'm saying? So now, I'm like, wow. So now, Big said something that was totally wrong. Y'all New Yorkers, y'all niggas from New York let these niggas from the Dog Pound and Pocknam do
the little video.
The video.
The video shoot, New
The
York,
shoots like that, New York and shit like that.
I heard that on the radio.
And you know, when I think of that incident, I was in a car when that announcement was actually made on my way to 125th to buy some clothes for the club later. And I remember me and my best friend looked at each other. I said, why Big saying that? You know, not knowing that event was going to play a major part in a friction that was really between two crews.
Right.
You know, and how that would now light a match. You know,
Spark the match.
It literally sparked the match. And Big was young then too. We gotta think how old these guys was then.
But you don't have nobody or send nobody or say to somebody to do that, and people, you know, gunshot, they whole van and everybody gets shot, because anybody could have been hit. Anybody could have died. They could have been killed.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's true.
So now we get out to Cali. Ain't no, I didn't go out to Cali with them. I was called out to Cali. You understand what I'm saying? Bigna was already out there. Puff was already out there. I was called out to Cali. And I thought Anthony Wolf Jones was going to me because they gave me the itinerary with me and his name on the ticket. Call Wolf up. Yo, what time you get to the airport? I'm not going. Why you not going, Wolf? My man Puff ain't going out there right. I want to take 2 tour buses out there with my niggas. That's what he said. I ain't gonna tell you how to make your money, Gene, but I said, well, listen here, man. Kirk said we ain't gonna do nothing but studio and the Soul Train Awards. Man, those few days, me and Puff was running around that motherfucker like we ain't have no sense, man. Going to movies, House of Blues parties, all this shit like that.
Just event to event to event.
Just me and him. And Kenny, the other driver and stuff like that. And then, you know, we might, Sally Richardson, if it wasn't Sally Richardson and her girlfriend, it was Kim or whatever, this, that, and the third, the whole 9 yards. So my whole thing about it was this. Like, yeah, okay. I'm getting back home. If I leave here, it's gonna be a dome. They're gonna have to hit the dome. I double vested up, had my shit on me, and everything. But Mace came to me. I seen Mace in a drop top white Benz.
I mean, damn near with a beacon.
Right. I was like, yo, bro.
With Stevie, right?
Stevie J. I'm like, no, not Steve. Stevie. Stevie. I said, man, what the fuck is you doing out here in a drop top Benz? You supposed to be from Harlem, nigga. They gonna try to tie your head down to the white meat. Nah, man. Stevie said his man is strong out here. I said, nigga, you a trophy. Do you understand that? He said, yeah, G, because I was over at the basketball game and they told me everything. They said they don't want me. They want Big and Puff. Mace ain't have a conversation with Big. We had that conversation with Puff. You understand? And the dudes that he was at the basketball game was from the Dog Pound, the place that got the dudes who got shot up at the thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So now, a phone call was given to them. Puff had to squash that shit.
And let's not miss the connection. Brandy Norwood is first cousin to Calvin Brodus. Continue.
All right? So now.
That was good.
I
was good. Catch that.
Go ahead.
So now, he make a phone call. Bro, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Blase, whoop, whole 9 yards. When I tell you, every time I got in Puff's presence, he was talking about this party at the Vibe thing, the Big, and making up excuses, saying shit like, yo, man, I heard you ain't spend that much time in the studio, man. All right, dog, you can make it up by going to this party with me. Right? Yo, what you do in the studio today? You ain't go? Oh, man, you fucking up my money, bruh. I thought you supposed to be working in the studio and everything like that. Yo, listen to him. You still going to the party, right? Everything was about that
Everything
motherfucker,
was about the
that
Vibe party.
Oh, everything was about the Vibe party. But Kirk Burroughs is on the line with him talking about,
we getting ready to go to
we finna go to London because Ariston put all his money out for this whole event in London. This gonna make Big a mega star. You understand what I'm saying? Ariston has spent all his motherfucking money for him to go over to London. Plus say, I don't give a fuck if you get on the plane or whatever.
You go by yourself.
You go by yourself, but Big ain't going. Right? So now, people don't understand this, is that I'm saying to myself, damn, what is going on? This nigga want this nigga go to this party that bad, whatever, like
because you, again, have history.
Right.
With this man.
Right, but I'm like...
You're like, why is this being stressed so much? First of all, Big can't even walk because his femurs
can't even walk. They was pushing Big in a motherfucking wheelchair most of the way. Every time we went somewhere, Big was going in a wheelchair. He walked up those steps, brother, up to the escalator and everything, but he was, yo, you swore that nigga was an old man. The most I ever seen him move, it was in that Notorious video when he was doing that stuff like that. But Big was in a lot of motherfucking pain, bro. Right? If we had to run out somewhere, that motherfucker would have got left because he was too big to drag his ass. And that's real talk. So now, I'm like this, bro. I'm like, this shit is crazy. I know we got beef because we had beef with some Muslim dudes at the Soul Train shit.
The FOIs.
The FOIs. We had beef with them. We got beef with these Dog Pound niggas. You know we got beef with Death Row. You understand?
There's too many entities at play.
There's too much shit is going on. So you got your head got to be on a swivel all the time. Honey's talking to you, Mom. Listen, I don't want to hear that shit right now. You got to go somewhere. You understand? Why you so mean? Listen here, Ma. I can't right now. You understand? I'm not, shit, ain't don't nothing beat an ambush. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like this. We going to this party. Call Kirk Burrows up. Kirk, we need more security and shit like that. The day we went to the party, I get a phone call from him. I just remember his name being D, like that. He used to run with Jodeci. He was from North Carolina. He tells me, Gene, we ain't going to the party. Jodeci ain't going to the vibe party? Why? Stevie J and not Devontae, what's the other one? Dalvin. Dalvin. They've been running around all week. Why the fuck they ain't going to that party? Okay. I'll let y'all ask them now, one of them now. You understand? So now, I know we going to this party. I get a call from my man D who rolls with them. Say, yo, Gene, we ain't going like that. That shit ain't gonna be, I don't know, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Just like that, I know it. Get that call from Unique a day before that.
From behind the wall.
From behind the wall. That day, Chaz told me, Chaz Williams, who's part of Black Hands, who part of the Guerrilla Black Mafia and the whole 9 yards. They all the same thing. Yo, some niggas gonna come get at y'all, bro. Gonna be some street shit. What he said. That's what he said. So I'm looking at that. I tell Puff. I tell Paul, who's the head of Puff's everyday security and everything like that. I tell him, go tell Puff. Yo, Puff, I got some stuff. All this shit is documented. See, what niggas don't understand, bro, that I've been investigated by the FBI. I've been investigated by the DEA. I've been investigated by the Internal
Affairs.
Internal Affairs, and the Inspector General of New York. I had more investigations than motherfucking Michael Jackson. And they never found me as a liar or didn't tell the truth about anything. No suspicion of drug thing, money thing, none of that shit.
Your integrity is intact.
Won 4 or 5 different arbitration hearings with the job. As a parole officer, I stayed suspended. I got more years suspended than I did working. Because every time they would just bring up some bullshit. So I got to go out again. Wait it out. They give you that time back.
They have to.
They have to give you that time back and give you the money back that you lost. But still, it still fucks up your life.
Because all things stop during the trial, the arbitrations and the investigations.
You know, you got to figure out how you're going to pay your motherfucking, your kids and them support. You got to figure out how you're going to pay for the schools. You can't work. You understand? You got to figure out how I'm taking off the book jobs cleaning toilets on 138 between 7th and Lenox Avenue. 138, it used to be an AIDS clinic an AIDS hotel over there. I'm cleaning floors and everything. I don't give a fuck. I'll shovel shit for a living. But you ain't gonna never feel my motherfucking pain.
There's a saying that you say that I find so powerful. If I start crying, what the baby gonna do?
Exactly. Shout out to BK Fame. You understand? So now, you know what I'm talking about. They never gonna feel our pain. We gotta go do what we gotta do.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna let they having a school trip. Baby, I can't. Nah. My man, I'm going to work everything off the fucking books, doing this and doing that. Went out to Miami, worked for Scott Storch, went out to Cali, did everything.
Is that going to be in part 2?
That's 3.
That's
That's a mean story. That's a mean story. The 3, that whole shit. Part 2, Part two, not to get off the subject, that whole beef between Ja Rule and 50,
Mm-hmm.
that whole Shine shit, the
Mm.
Puff and Shine, that 50 shit is real serious in the book. You know
We
what I'm saying?
see it because he is definitely holding the torch
Yeah, but like I
right
said that on my
now.
show the other day. He holding the torch because what would you do? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna try to you might want to say this cut this, but Puff went after his girl
Mm-hmm.
just to get close to his son.
Mm.
He tried to Suge Knight 50
Mm.
and do the same thing Suge
Did
did
to with Misa
with Misa
and Justin.
and Justin.
Mm.
Do you blame him, bruh?
Of course not. I
You
said that to her earlier. I said this is why 50 is so relentless on him, because I didn't know that they was his girl, his baby mother was with Puff. I'm like, of course. So that's why the man is relentless.
got on camera rubbing his feet and everything like that.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do, but he tried to get, yo, I want to take you and your son shopping and everything, do all this other bullshit like that. Nah, he got a daddy.
I guess he said when he asked 50 to take him shopping, and he said no, he said, all right, take her shopping. no.
But still, no, you don't do that to no
Yeah,
man's
no,
son.
of course not.
Not a dude powerful as 50.
Mm.
You ain't gonna do that to him. You ain't gonna try to Suge Knight his son.
Egotistical. And,
You understand?
yeah.
So we at this party.
Now we
going
at
to
the
party.
party.
Well, no, we ain't at the party yet.
Okay.
I go out. I go in front of the table. D-Mac, this dude D-Mac, he was running Sean Johns. He was working over Sean Johnson, Puff. A lot of the street team, all of them around the table and shit like that. I got through talking to Puff, and he told me, Gene, I don't want to hear that shit. You ain't got to go.
Mm.
I was like, nigga, I'm the only one with
I'm the only one with the
Nina.
artillery. Yeah.
Nina, her sister. Fuck is you talking about? We're gonna go. I said, yeah, all right. Something is rotten in Denmark.
Mm.
So I go in and I say, yo, I calls the block. Get on, Andre, I ain't gonna use my phone yet because I don't know if it's 7 o'clock yet because we in Cali.
Mm-hmm.
But
Quadruple the minutes.
so I say, yo, listen here. I get on Andre Harrell's phone. I call the block phone. Tell my man Slick. Yo, Slick, Chaz, Unique. Well, man, I'm talking about these niggas come get us tonight, man. Puff said, I ain't gotta go. Slick is a realist. He said, don't go.
Mm.
Nigga said, you ain't gotta
Simple
go.
and plain.
Don't go.
Don't go. Yeah.
Don't go. I said, no, I can't leave them kids like that, man.
Mm.
I can't leave them kids like that. Now, it's 23 of us all together.
Mm.
Kenny, the driver, he doing security. Paul and the Inglewood police officer that Paul didn't hire.
Mm.
You understand, from out there. It's 23 people, only 4 security.
Mm.
And 2 of the securities are drivers.
Mm.
Fuck they gonna do?
Mm.
Drive and shoot at the same time?
This is a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So now we like this. Like, we go into this party. I say, fuck. Hit the table. The fuck is going on, man? Shit, then nigga D-Mac, yo, what's wrong with you, Big G? I said, nigga, these niggas is come getting us tonight. I said, they come getting us tonight. He talking about, man, we lock and load together. We lock and load together. I said, I don't see none of you niggas locking. I don't see none of you niggas loading nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Got it from out the table, went outside. Guess who was outside right there? The notorious Big in the car. Big is in the car right there. First thing that come to my mind, yo, Big, these niggas coming to kill us tonight, man. Lil C say right out his motherfucking mouth. Yo, Gene, go on with that old cop shit.
Mm.
You think you know everything.
It's right in the book.
Right. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop talking about the book. Let me start talking about the book. But long story short is that, you know, you can find the stuff in the book, you can find the stuff online. Some of the stuff online is more vivid in the book than I talk
Absolutely.
about it. But the thing about it is that Notorious Big lost his life that night, and I blame myself. I blame myself for years, because I knew I knew what was going to go down, but I couldn't be two places at once. And
Right.
Puff was paying me to be with him.
He was your principal.
He was paying me to be with him. And the only time I left Puff's side when he told me to go be with Big.
It's a few things I've been blurry on for years. I'm trying to understand. So Kenny the driver, he was from out there.
Right.
The hospital was right down the block.
Right.
How did y'all drive around lost for a minute?
You got to ask Kenny that.
That is one that is I haven't
The
been
hospital
able.
was 2 blocks away.
2 blocks away. So how did that whole thing go down? And then so I couldn't understand that one. Another one that I had been stuck with for so many years. Big was from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Why did he even go out there? You know what I'm saying? That made no sense.
I think Gene had expressed before, Big was in a little financial straits at the time.
A plane ticket, it cost what? He would have spent a couple $1,000s to call up some his killers from Brooklyn. I don't care what Puff's saying. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm gonna call me 5, 6 dudes that I know that's gonna come out there and hold me down correctly. He couldn't do that. He didn't have a couple $1,000s to get some real dudes to plane tickets.
Well, Un had money, but the thing about it is this. Like you said, is that Big was dealing with a lot of chicks that they had their hands up like the Statue of Liberty. You know what I mean? Give me, let me, can you spare? You understand? And that was real talk. And then I don't care what you say as a man, when you dealing with somebody out of your, and like she just said earlier, out of your league, you got to pay to play. You understand? I don't care how good you rap or whatever they're like that. That's just the truth of the matter. You understand? You can say what you say. You can feel whatever you want to feel. You understand what I'm saying? But still in all, when that girl looking at Rodeo Drive and she can't go down there and buy her something, there's going to be an issue. There's going to be a problem. I came all the way out to Cali just to hit you off. And I can't see Rodeo Drive. I can't go up in the Gucci store. I can't do Louis Vuitton. I can't do none of that.
Huh, Big Papa?
Huh? Yeah.
And another one is I just want to be clear on this. So D-Rock was the one that convinced him to go to the vibe party that night.
And I found out on your show that you was doing with Math Hoffman. Yo, my man, I cried like a bitch. Excuse me, I cried like a bitch when I heard that because I blame myself all the time. And I'm still suffering from the PTSD from blaming myself for all those years. I still suffer from that shit. I don't give a fuck if a nigga know, because a nigga ain't gonna test me. I wish, let me knock on wood. I'm not gonna bring that to my life. I'm not gonna bring that to my life. But I blame myself for years. Bro. I'm still trying to get it all out, but it's hard because it's been on me for so many damn years. You understand what I'm saying? And I wanted to come on y'all show so fucking bad. I wanted to come on y'all show so bad because when Clark Kent said, I asked Big that night, why are you going to that show? Why are you going anywhere? He said, D-Rock and Puff set this up for me to go. I knew Puff had came and got D-Rock and took him out with Sally Richardson and them, and they stayed gone all that day. You understand? So I know he was at the Diddy party. And he convinced Big to go with Puff that night because Un said he was sending what's her name? The porn star. Karen, no, Hunter.
Heather
Hunter and Janet Jackney. You understand? To his room that night.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
To keep him so he wouldn't have to go.
So he wouldn't have to
Party
go
in your
nowhere.
room. Mm-hmm.
So it's nothing I could have done
No.
to stop Big from going to that party when his man and his man's man then told him not to go and then was setting up girls to come see him.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I did something wrong by dealing with my principal because I'm fighting Puff on the outside. Yo, man, I'm riding on the side of the car. Yo, get in this car, Gene.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you talking about getting in this car. I'm talking to him like that. Puff don't talk to me like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Get in this car. Oh, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy ever again. I don't got no other ride.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Chaz is making his way down to the damn at the time I ain't know Chaz was making his way down to the fucking thing because he seen the setup at Steve Stout's house.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we went in the hills, more people would have died.
That's another one. Chaz happens to be Matula Shakur.
Dr. Matula.
Yeah,
First cousin.
First cousin.
Right.
So it's like this is real intricate, deep here. So basically, that's Tupac's cousin.
Right.
So he definitely knows what's going on.
Exactly. And I'm Chaz what? Right hand man.
Right hand man,
So
pots
he's
and
protecting
pans.
you because
Yes.
you are with him and you are part of Black Hand. So he's really protecting you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all amazing right there. I've been trying to figure out. Now, D-Rock, when Puff left after Big got killed, did D-Rock stay?
D-Rock stayed. He was the one who made the phone call to Big's mom.
Mm.
All right, but
Chaz was taking us to. Chaz was about to go to when we leaving the hospital. I said, "Yo, Chaz, we gotta leave the hospital. We gotta take Puff to the airport. It's in San Diego. That's 120 miles. Chaz about to ride with us with his crew. You know they got other cars and everything like that. Puff stops on the side of the highway. Say, "Yo, we don't need all that, man. We good." I got out the car and worked with Chaz now. Man, fuck you.
so yeah, there's so many intricate parts in this. Now, I heard Keefy D say that he came up to y'all that night.
Right, he came up to me.
And he told y'all too.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that, bro. He didn't say that. Keefy D came up to me. I said, "Yo, what up, Keith? What up with you?" We gave each other that. I don't know what he said to Puff.
No, this is what he said. He said to Puff.
All right, because he didn't say that to
not
Big.
to you. He said to Puff. Y'all, it's hot for y'all tonight. They're gonna do something to y'all tonight. And Puff told him no. He said, "I'll hold y'all down now. I'll hold y'all down." And Puff told him no.
Because you got to realize this. I started this conversation off about there were more than one person or one group of people that's trying to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
Puff made this dude that's from the FOI so fucking mad, dog. I don't know what was the reason behind it, but the captain of the FOI, who is Mustafa Farrakhan, had to get in this dude face to face like this after telling him to be quiet 3 times.
And we know by tradition that's not normal practice. FOIs are extremely disciplined. They follow protocol to a T. So if a order is given, brother to brother, stand down, it's like they lock into themselves. But you made it very clear this brother was on 20.
Yeah, and you got to understand this. Most of the brothers that are FOI in California, they carry 2 flags. A blood, a crip, Niete or whatever you are, whatever, Chicano, whatever, Rolling 60, whatever like that. They carry 2 flags and they carry that FOI with them. They have both flags.
Very dangerous combination.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So now for this brother to get in face to face with Mustafa, it's something wrong, bruh. It's something really wrong. FOIs is coming from everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm that dude, me and Puff gonna see each other again.
I can't help but you know, he did it. I didn't do it. Snoop told complete two different stories of his encounter with Big when he was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw Big.
What?
Never saw Big out there.
He told two different stories. Oh wow! He said,
Bruh, Big was in the I Swear for a Living Jesus because Lil C's wasn't around for a whole week. Because Lil C's had left those pictures that Charlie Baltimore had seen of Big getting boofed by the white girls from Frisco. My freaks from Frisco. You understand what I'm saying? Big was actually telling me the story. He said, "Yeah, man, we was having sex, and then the girl was going crazy. Talking about when Lil C's was on top of, and the girl was like going like saying all kind of wild shit. And Big said, he said, 'Come on, ma, we know that's Lil C.' Yeah, so Big was telling us a story in the studio, and he was like, "Yo, this nigga Snoop keep calling me. I heard this nigga's in Miami. Somebody said they saw him in Miami. That he's in Miami. Why the fuck is he calling me?
Asking where I am,
Asking
and what
where
I'm
I'm
doing.
at and what I'm doing."
so he never saw Big in the studio and told
Nah.
him, you know, I forgive you for what you did.
I think he said that somewhere when they were in Atlanta, or he had seen him in Atlanta.
Oh, so that was Atlanta.
He had seen him in Atlanta somewhere or whatever like that. But out in California, and then Lil C's, and I said this all the time. Lil C said they was out there for 2 months. I don't know them to be out there for 2 months. But if they was out there for 2 months, where did him and Snoop go and get a burger?
Yeah, why
Where did they
didn't
go
take him to
smoke
Willy
together?
Burger?
And all this shit. If they was that cool and everything was straight.
And if everybody else know this intricate plot that's going down from people like Chaz and people in Unique Mecca who's behind the bar, obviously Snoop know.
Right.
So why you don't give him a call and say, yo, get out of there?
It's a little hot for you, brother.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else knows, so you got to know what's about to go down too. You know, it just seems like that thing was really baked against that brother in a different type of way. You know, one of the things I was wondering too was the Tupac thing, the $1 million with that. Was any truth to that, or that's more fabricated than?
Well, let me hear your part of it, because a lot of people online have said that I said
Absolutely not.
This got this got nothing to do with you. They got this what we've heard from Keefy D on mouth.
Keefy D.
Yeah. Keefy D.
But listen here, bro. I don't know the truth about that shit. What I said was, me and my man is sitting on the stoop. You understand? On 112th Street. Zip came around, bragged, because every new car, every old school car, Zip had about, I think, 75 old schools.
Yeah, I remember.
You understand what I'm saying? Zip used to come around there with Chaz, no bullshit, on everything I love. My man Slick was like, "Yo, Gene, what time you get off of work today?" I said, "Man, I was out till I was out 5 o'clock this morning. I had Webster Project, so then nigga, come on, you can do the project. You a parole officer? I love that shit. You know, I can start at the 20th floor,
Work your way all the way down.
Yeah.
I did like 16, 17 visits. I'm good for the day. I said, I'm good for the day. He said, "What's up, man? Yo, listen to me, man. I want niggas to be out on the block today. You feel like cooking?" I said, "Yeah, all right." He said, "Yo, listen here. We're going to order the food and stuff like that. You going to cook it and everything?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be over there cooking." You know what I'm saying? He got a brownstone, big ass kitchen in the basement. You understand? So it's certain things that I love to do to get my mind, my mind right, and cooking is one of them. Yo, listen, I will go and cook I give an event every year. I make 23 dishes. You understand? All by myself. You understand? 23 dishes all by myself. It ain't nobody gonna ever tell you, "Yo, I ate Gene food and that shit was trash." I learned from my mother, but my Jan Robinson, my father's wife, gourmet cook.
Mm.
You understand? Taught us well, me and my brother. I go in there and then I learn from my brothers too. You understand? We trade recipes, we do our thing. You understand? Nigga talking about, why you open up a restaurant? I said, that shit is too much work, nigga. I only cook for family and friends. I give an event, man, I can make 23 different dishes. You understand what I'm saying?
For hosts.
So you know what I'm saying?
Scragglers that just happen to stop by.
But you understand? So now, so they call me over. Yo, you cook? I said, yeah, like that. Zip will come over. Him, Chaz, Red Bud. Everybody be on the block. They didn't know I could cook at first. And then they were just eating this food. Cause you know, the girls were making the plates and everything like that. And they were like, yo, Slick, where you buy this shit from, man? And he was like, yo, I'm sitting on the porch like that. And then he's like, buy? They said, yo, Gene cooked that shit. And Chaz was like, yo, you cook this food? And I'm like, yeah. He said, you done came to all these events at my house and you ain't never let me know you could cook like this? Nigga, I want this. Every time I get some, I want this fried cabbage, this macaroni and cheese, and this cornbread. I always said, I got you, man. And on every event Chaz ever got in his house, gave in his house, I did that and a couple other dishes. Cause I love to do that. You understand? Big D, Big Joe, Peter shooting them, they was there one time. They couldn't believe I was the one that cooked that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So my whole thing about it is that we right there. Zip come around there showing this new black, I think it was Continental, a kissing door or something like that, or it was either a Chrysler. It was all black and everything like that. Showing it off to Slick. Yeah, Slick said, yeah, I like that. He said, how much you want for it? You understand? He said, no, I ain't selling this. I'm going to ride it for a little while like that. But I get ready because Slick will buy it from him. So then Slick said, Zip said, yo, look at this. It was a check for $1 million for Black Ground Records. It had, I think, the dude that was Aaliyah's uncle, his name was Aaliyah's uncle, who was in the music business. It was, he got it from Jimmy Henchman, and he told he got the check from Jimmy Henchman. He said, where you get that from? He said, yo, Jimmy and Barry Hankerson.
Yeah.
Aaliyah uncle for Black Ground Records. Said, when this nigga get a record label? When that nigga left me and Sleep was like, when that nigga get a record label? I don't know. So then we start hearing the story that Zip got a check for $1 million, supposed to have a check for $1 million for Pac and all that shit like that. You hear those stories, but the man told us it was for Black Ground Records. So what we gonna believe what he say? Follow the paperwork. I said that shit a long time ago.
You being the investigative officer that you have been, do you think that's how Pac was killed? Do you think it was just that simple? Because me and her, we've been out on that block and we just can't see how that took place.
Cabal and Flamingo.
Yeah, we've been standing there. We just don't see that how.
Bruh, I don't believe that because I know other information and Suge know other information. You understand? I can say it now. I don't give a shit. You understand? Suge has told people that somebody ran up on the car and killed Pac.
He has said that. I think it was dismissed by a lot of people because the more popular narrative.
Somebody in the white car, somebody drive by, something like that.
Right.
That sounds more better because we was there. How, you know,
we sure could. We didn't see it, and we were there on a Saturday, regular Saturday night, and was it 6 lanes of traffic going across Flamingo, and we were just picturing this. Okay, this is after a Tyson fight. So this is the regular Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
We could not
We couldn't
visualize. We couldn't move.
We couldn't move through the block
Couldn't
on a
move.
regular Saturday.
Couldn't move on a
So
regular
you telling me
Saturday.
after the Tyson fight,
Right.
they was able to orchestrate this hit and just pull
And get
off
away.
into the, you know, it
Vanish.
just don't for me it didn't
But what
add
about
up.
this? We was told that they was on the other side of the street, and Keefy D said this too. Zipnum was in one car, Keefy D was in another car. They see Pac now. They tell Zipnum, yo, man, we're finna go toilet this nigga, man, about jumping his little nephew. Zipnum go another way. Right? They supposed to drove all around, came through a whole entourage, pulled up on the side of Pac them, in that traffic.
In that traffic.
And killed Pac.
It don't add up.
It don't add up.
Doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
it don't. Yeah, we figured that out
Doesn't
when we
make
was
sense.
standing there ourselves.
So when Daddy told us the story, he said, "Yo, man, nigga roll up, nigga ran up on the car and tore their ass up." You understand what I'm saying? That's what he told us way back then. Way back then.
Way back then. Got you.
You understand? When they got back from Vegas, sit on the same stoop that Slick them used to come out, and he told us the story.
And who knows who that person could have really been.
Right.
Did Chaz have a response to that, being that Pac was pretty much kin to him?
Well, you know what? It's one thing that Chaz never did. He really never talked about street shit to me. You understand? Other than if it was something for my own safety.
And that makes so much sense.
Right? He never talked about streets. But you know what the situation was? His own people never knew that he would talk about street shit to me. And they would tell me shit that he never even said. That he would never even say. That's how I found out a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because they thought because me and Chaz was so close.
They thought, they just assumed.
Yeah.
They just assumed Chaz told me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But it be coming out their mouth. You're like, yo, damn. Then I go back and I say something to Chaz. You're like, yo, how you know that? Yo, because behind that Black Gangster movie, Supreme came and talked to me about it. I ain't know shit about it. And I went directly to Chaz. Yo, Preem came and talked to me about this, bro, like that. He was like, yo, he don't supposed to talk to you about that. That's what he said. I got to talk to him so you'd learn a better way. You got to figure out a better way to communicate that. You understand? I'm not going to have a Chaz thinking that I can have a conversation with a nigga about his business and not say nothing to him. And then you know how niggas say, yo, I told you, man. And then he come back and say, yo, he said he told you this, that, and that. Nah, nigga. I'm telling Chaz straight up off the top, off the rip. I'm not having that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that.
That's where that integrity comes in. One of the things that befuddled me for a long time, the character that the person we now know as Amir Muhammad. Sketch is etched in all of our minds. We see the sketch very clearly. C said the Muslim shot Big. It was very clear to you, this is the brother you also saw. You and C's are not the only two people that saw this particular brother in the vicinity. Stuck out like a sore thumb, especially for investigative eyes like yours. This don't look right. How did that name and that narrative just disappear? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, C says he didn't see who shot Big now. What in the hell? Is this your friend or no?
You got to realize this, and I had to realize this for myself, is that C's need this business for survival. You understand? And whatever the people be that want the narrative to be for him, he's going to say that. Because he has to find a way to live off this.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? So
if at all
how
possible.
could you, if you watched that first tape, I think it was Junior Mafia Chronicles or something, Big say, Big ain't had no business in Cali.
Yes.
Everybody who said, you see they got rid of that tape, right?
Can't find it nowhere.
Can't find it. Big ain't had no business to be in Cali. His album was done. Everybody who's seen that first thing of Lil C's know that he said that. You see how the narrative changed now? Big love Cali.
Yeah.
Big wanted to be out in Cali, this, that, and the third, the whole 9 yards. Bruh, we all know if you got a beef with somebody or you did something crazy like Big did and that shit ain't really rectified. Yo, if he did straighten that out with Snoop Dogg, like they say they did, why they ain't never meet in Cali when Big was in Cali? Why wouldn't all those guys came and brought it together so we could have a conversation? Why we was told when Big was killed, when he was murdered, they all went up to death row and celebrated if it was something that was squashed.
Right.
Huh? Now, let's look at it like this. Well, she's changing the narrative. That's your cameraman. He walks up the steps. 5 minutes later, yo, a dude in a light blue shirt, skinny tight jeans. and what's those wingtips? Wingtip shoes. Shot Gene. When they say, who's that, the cameraman? When you say that's the cameraman?
Yeah, of course. That's who you describe.
So if somebody say, the cameraman shot Gene, they say, the blue shirt, tight jeans, wingtip shoes? You understand?
Right. It's very plain. That's the cameraman.
5 minutes later, this dude, when Lucy said, the dude was a Muslim, I said, white shirt, blue bow tie, blue suit, peanut head? Yeah. How you know, Gene? He walked up the puff car. And the second book, oh my God.
April 4th.
April 4th, absolutely.
It's called Life After Bodyguard and the Hip Hop Star. It's got, like I said, your man Big L, Pun, story about Pun, Big L, just Fat Joe, 50 Cent.
That's an
Ja
amazing
Rule.
thing. You know, the most famous rapper, almost, you know, arguably you took care of and, you know, was a big part of his life. And then the one that was the most unfamous one that they say is the biggest, Big L, you have a
L didn't get
relationship
that
with both.
opportunity for the world to meet
That's an
him,
amazing thing right
unfortunately.
there. For, you know, that's just, so that story's going to be
Yeah,
amazing.
what's crazy, this dude just, you know, and I'm through, I'm letting people know right now that I only read some of the stuff online because it's a lot of people that call and ask for my help with their kids. I show you my phone right now. I got people that have kids that are having problems because they can't get services for them. You understand? And I'm telling them what they have to do. I got people that be having mental breakdowns that I take time and I talk to them and everything like that. I know my gift and what God got me here for.
Absolutely.
I know why God took me through all that shit getting beaten at as a child. not having food in the house, having to go pack groceries at the grocery store, sell bottles, wash cars, cut grass with one of those push lawnmowers that's coming back in style now.
Yeah.
I bought one of them. Having a snow cone stand out there in Wellston. I know why God put me through all the trials and tribulations that I went through with my job, with different service. I worked for BCW. I worked for the Department of Juvenile Justice for a short time. I worked for the Division of Parole. You understand? I worked in some of the worst housing complexes in New York City and the Bronx. Not because they was bad like that, because they didn't get the service that they needed like they supposed to, like they're doing for them now. It's because my years now is not for me. It's for you. You understand? Even though I retired, I got to give my life to the people that need my help. You understand? I'm not like, you ain't gonna call me and like, yo, I need you to buy me lunch, buy me, get out of here. No, I'm not here for that. But if you need, if I'm somewhere and you come up to me and you like, yo, man, I'm hungry, I can sit down and buy you something right there. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna give you half of what I got. I don't have no problem with that. But my life ain't for me. It's for it's for him. Good.
Same motto I try to have.
Still in service, Mr. Deal, still in service. And we thank you for your service. We thank you for keeping your integrity and letting something way beyond this world actually be your guide. Because if we're not in service of one another, who are we actually serving?
Right.
And I thank you so much for being here today. This was this was more than what I expected, actually.
Right.
But when you're sitting next to someone that's on the right, this is what you get. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, you pick this up, Amazon, okay? Use that
April
Prime
4th.
subscription. Be on the lookout. April 4th, part 2 is going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we salute you, brother. And thank you so much for all you are and all you do.
And we want to present you with one of our bottles here to explain what this is. So me, my partner Vern, that you called the cameraman.
Sorry about that, Vern, man.
And my wife, when the last few years we watched on all these platforms how they was promoting alcohol. And alcohol is a terrible thing for our people. It's detrimental to our people. And that was a big concern on me.
Right.
So we came up with a non-alcoholic drink that tastes like alcohol. So we have tequila, we have rum, we have whiskey, we have beer, we have wine, but it's all non-alcoholic.
Get out of here.
Yes. And we want to present you with a bottle of tequila.
All
You
right.
know what I'm saying? And
Sun and Shield, brother.
Sun and Shield
for you.
You know,
Appreciate it.
you could buy it, off our website.
And I'm gonna promote this on my show too.
You know, and
Right.
it's non-alcoholic, no alcohol, but it has to taste too. It has to taste.
Right.
I think
For all you silly folks that think we were actually promoting
yeah, that's what we keep hearing. Oh, they trying to sell us alcohol.
Right.
We're not those type of people. But, we want to present you with a bottle with that too.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you to the utmost.
All right.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap.